That's what I get rewarded for. 72% of underwriters are judged on how many apps per week did you complete. Not how good. Yeah, there's quality control. But it's how many did you do per week. Now think about it. Here's an industry. You go out and you work hard. You might take months and years to sell a particular plan, especially a large case. You take all that time, and it goes to someone who's rewarded for how fast can I get it off my desk. And that's wrong. Okay? It just doesn't make sense to have that as such a big judge on how you're doing every year as an underwriter. Right? I only know of one company in the world where basically the underwriter is rewarded for how much placed, paid, new business is put on the books. And yet their underwriting, quality control, audits by external people like myself is perfect. It's fine. It's identical to any other company. The other thing is, everything today is about the process and speed. We've taken it, we said, how do you move thousands of cases through faster and faster and faster? And so we lower the number of requirements. We try to get the underwriter to think, make a decision, get it off your desk. One of the easiest decisions for an underwriter to make after being standard, I mean, standard is the easiest decision, it's most of the cases. The next easiest really is decline. It's off my desk. Okay? Again, when I ask the question about that of major underwriting people, the answer back is, today's advisor cannot place a substandard case. You don't know how and you don't want to. If a person is a diabetic and has been for 10 years and is on insulin, they are not going to have the same mortality or morbidity. There has to be an extra rating. Okay? And when you do your interview, when you're taking the application, you know that. You know it's not going to be standard. So I don't believe that you guys and gals cannot place that business. But maybe it's education. Maybe it's more having the underwriter help you place that business. Living benefits, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because I'm far from an expert in it. I pretend to be an expert, but I'll be honest, I'm not an expert. I see a lot of cases, I get involved in a lot of claims and that, and I use a lot of common sense. And basically, we've moved from an educated guess in living benefits, especially critical illness. It was an educated guess. Now we've got more and more statistics, and we're getting better and more refined. I hope, we'll see far more competition in the future from more reinsurers wanting the business instead of we historically, for the last decade, almost had only one. I think in 2010, you're going to see 3 to 4 reinsurers actively, aggressively looking for this business, which should help rates, and it should help underwriting. Help underwriting, when I say help underwriting, make it more aggressive. I wish you people had pushed, and I think it was you, pushed for one set of definitions. We're close. We have a benchmark set, but it would have been nice to have one set. I would hate to be an advisor trying to decide whether I sell Plan A from Company A or Plan B from Company B based on the requirements. Because to be honest, I look at them, and I know doctors look at them. It's really hard to pick out what the subtle differences are, but they can be very important at time of claim. It's still not a big seller in Canada. Equitable decisions. Remember, I said every Friday I knock 50 mortality points off every decision going out the door. And it made no difference in mortality. Was it equitable? Fine. The business placed. I view it as equitable. I did it every Friday. I didn't change Thursday to Friday or Wednesday to Friday. I picked every Friday. A lot of our price categories are expedient because when preferred came in, the proper way to do it was to weigh all the debits and credits. That's the way preferred started. And for any of you that sold the original CNA product, that's the way it was set up. It was fair, it was equitable, it made sense. But then again, I'm told because of you, you didn't understand it, so you'd prefer the knockout system. Fail one of 7 categories and you're out. You people wanted that, so that's what I'm told, so you got it. So that old way of having proper underwriting, the way an underwriter thinks, the way an underwriter operates, we've gone to this knockout system, which is totally alien to an underwriter. So I'll quickly show you what it means. Underwriting, and I'm sure all of you would agree, is not an exact science, and underwriters rarely ever get 100% right. Okay? So, if you take people that are in a band of 70% mortality, in there you will have some people who shouldn't be there. There will be the odd person who is a residual. I love that word, residual. Now, it was better. We were going to call them sickos, but residual is much better. So there are people in there that are residuals, and there are people in there that should be preferred, yet we price this as super preferred. The same can be said for those in the high mortality area, the people that are 130, 150%. Even there, we have some really good risks who, because they do something wrong, slip in there. So when we introduced preferred, we made the group in the middle fairly happy because we lowered the price. We made the people on the left, the super preferred, we made most of them really happy. We gave them superstar status, and we made the residual, the sickos, sad because we didn't decrease the price, we sometimes increased the price. Quickly, here's a case. These are typical, right out of a book of a Canadian company. These are the super preferred criteria. These are the maximum levels, preferred maximum levels, 3 lives. Which one is the best risk? Is it Abdul, is it Andre, or is it Jens? The 90-year-old Swede who exercises every day. Okay? Now, we know Abdul fits because every criteria is below the super preferred. Andre fits in the second category, and Jens, he's a knockout. So, Jens, who really belongs there, we put Jens over there. Ask any underwriter. The best risk of those 3 is Jens. Every criteria was well below. He was a little bit overweight. Yet, in the old underwriting days, Jens would have been given the best price by far. But the knockout system, he fails. And so we have a lot of people that are upset. And it upsets you because they are super healthy. They're super preferred. But because they fail 1 of 7 criteria, no matter how good they are in the others. Whereas the old CNA way, the original way, the underwriters designed preferred before the actuaries took over. The underwriters wanted a system of debits and credits. Residuals, again, because we have people in the residuals that really don't belong there, we can be more liberal, but a lot of underwriters don't understand that. You should pressure